man. How are you?
Great. Slabs on Sunday, brought to you by Sprague Sports with comedian David Ordog, who we ended talking about last week, for those of you that joined us,
Oh yeah.
about, something that David's going to be doing coming up. But you also, David, had a question that you wanted me to answer at the end of last week that we were going to take some time to talk about. So, first of all, do you remember that question? And do you want to just remind some people
Absolutely.
of
I
what
was
we were?
asking you about the nature of the deal, the rights that basically how players interact with teams that make these cards or any other kind of merchandise, right? Specifically cards. I'm interested to understand like how do they license that, and does it go through the MLB or does it go by player or what else? Like, tell me what's going on.
Okay, so I am, first of all, first and foremost, I'm not going to claim to anybody that I am an expert in all of the dynamics of all of this,
So
but
this
I
is a
will.
more than layman's understanding, but maybe
It's not.
below.
It's more than a layman's understanding, but it's also just like, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I'll put my hand up and say that I'm wrong. But this is my general understanding of how it works, right?
Right.
So, um, okay, right here, perfect. So there are different levels to this, and we'll go through a lot of it. But we'll start with one of the first things that you said about how it works with like Tops and the trading card companies and getting cards, et cetera, right? So right here is a Brendan Doyle licensed autograph. This is, a Mike Trout licensed autograph from Tops. This one's from Bowman. This is from Tops, but for all intents and purposes, they are the exact same company. They
Right.
are the exact same company.
It's two different brands from the same
The same
company.
company, yeah. Um, so how it essentially works is it's through, again, if I'm wrong about this, I'm wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure that this is how it works. It's through like your bargaining agreement, right? So if you are part of Major League Baseball and you sign that contract, this is part of that, right? So how that works is there are licensed and unlicensed cards. Pops and Bowman are like I think are the only company that have licensed cards for baseball. They
Okay.
also only have license. They have soccer, they have football. The only sport that Tops does not currently have is hockey, and hockey will never get it. Like Upper Deck would cease to exist if they got rid of it, right? Um, so those companies have exclusive deals, and from that way they can they can do teams, right? I'm trying to think of how to phrase this right. So like, if you get a Prism baseball card, which I do have, it would say like Colorado baseball team,
Right.
and it may say Chris Bryant's name, but it doesn't. He's not wearing a Rockies jersey. He's not wearing anything like that. Like, sometimes they do a similar color and they do it in the color that way, but like, it's an unlicensed baseball card, right? So like, it can't have anything Major League Baseball related. So since Tops
As far as
has
the
that,
teams go, they can have the
as far as the
people,
teams
but
go,
not the
they can have the
team.
people because they don't own the rights to the people. They own the rights to the teams, right? So
The other way. If they had the rights to the teams, why
yeah,
wouldn't they?
they don't have the right to the players. They have the rights to the teams.
Then why wouldn't they be able to publish? Who are you talking about? Like Don Roos can't put a jersey on their card, right?
Yes.
So do they have the agreement with the team, but they can't put the
No,
jersey on
no,
the
no.
card?
Sorry. When I said I meant Tops.
Tops.
Top or Major League Baseball, right? Is they don't own the teams, obviously, because they have individual owners, but it's like under the umbrella, right? So like,
I
all
got
of
you.
them pay to Major League Baseball,
I
and like
got you.
that's the thing, right? So
Okay,
like,
same
if
page.
yeah, so Tops owns the rights to Major League Baseball, which then gives them the rights to teams. Donna Roos does not own the rights to have the rights to the Major League Baseball, so they don't have the teams, but they can get the players. So
And then an individual player will talk to Don Roos, or how does that work?
I do not know how that part works.
Okay.
Like I don't know how Don Roos gets the imaging of the players, right? Like I don't really fully understand that aspect of it, right?
Okay.
My guess is it probably is an individual contract with each player,
Okay.
and they probably go through the players association of that organization to figure that out.
So when they say unlicensed, like a card that is like an unlicensed card, like a Don Roos, like a Prism, those actually are licensed from the player, just not from the organization of
I'm not a
baseball.
hundred. Yeah, I'm not a hundred
Fair enough.
percent
Fair enough.
positive on that.
I
Like,
got you.
I don't really know
But
how
they're
that
printing
aspect
the
works.
likeness of somebody. Like they
No,
have to
yeah,
have
no,
some kind of
I'm not
agreement.
disagreeing. I'm not
Yeah, yeah,
disagreeing.
yeah.
Like,
No, no, no.
there has
Sure.
to be.
An
I just don't.
exploration.
Yeah. I just don't know the answer to the question.
Fair enough.
Um, but like, they have to have something, right? Like,
Yeah, I would
you can't
guess.
monetize off the likeness of someone, right?
You can't be selling
Without.
Dave Wardog comedy trading cards without at least talking to me about it.
Yeah, exactly. So autographs, right? So through that contract that they have with Topps, Major League Baseball, like certain players get certain cards, and sometimes those certain cards are signed. So I know from speaking to players that essentially Topps just like sends them shit, and they just sit there and sign it like all
Right.
day long,
Hundreds
and
and hundreds of
hundreds
things,
and hundreds of
thousands of
cards,
signatures.
thousands of signatures, right?
Right.
And so those signatures, I wonder if I have both examples. Both, I'm gonna guess that I don't have both examples sitting here. I
Because
may.
also some of those unlicensed, let's just say Donruss, they do have signatures on some of their cards. Like they do
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
uh
You're 100% right with that
they have
statement.
SIGs and relics just like Tops does. So I'm sure that they're licensing those things from players directly or however else, you know. But
Yeah.
I
So,
but
oh, is this? Is this an example? No. Okay. So, I don't have an example readily available. I should have actually thought about that.
that's okay.
Actually, I may, but whatever. Regardless. So, they do it in two ways, right? So there are on card autographs, right? Which is this, and which is the same as the Brenton. And on card autographs are they send them the card and they send the card. They also get a stack of stickers, right? They get a large stack of stickers and they end up signing those stickers, and those stickers get slapped on random cards,
Right.
right? So like there are two different avenues on which uh players sign things. So from a um buyer's perspective and a collector's perspective, on card autographs are more valuable than stickers,
Right.
right? Because then you know for a fact that the player had to have handled that card.
Yep.
So those are the two different ways that players get it. And like on card autographs then come with like the fun little inscriptions that are made in there, right? Like
Right.
sometimes they do dual cards and they'll make jokes back and forth between the two people. Like they have a good time with it sometimes. And those are worth even more. Like an inscription is obviously worth more than a regular old autograph, right?
Sure.
So that is kind of how the trading card side of it works. It's all part of the agreement that they have with Major League Baseball. That's then the players sign the contract with Major League Baseball or their team, subsequently Major League Baseball. And that's part of that deal, right? That's how the debut patches are a thing, right? And the debut patches end up on Major League Baseball players' jerseys. Is like it's through the deal that they have. So the next part of that, which is the other part of your question, is how does it then work with players and doing signing events and doing things like that, right? So there are Fanatics, which owns Tops and subsequently also owns Bowman,
Yep.
They have their own exclusive players, right? So an example for that, yep, Bowman, there you go. Bowman cards. Ooh, love that. Um, they have their own players, and those players are kind of tiered, right? So one of them is Shohei Otani, right? Shohei Otani signed like $150 million a year deal, and he only signs a certain amount of extra stuff for Fanatics. That's separate from the cards that he signs for tops. They're two different things,
Back up
right?
for 1 second. Back up for one
Yep.
second. You said Shohei Ohtani signed a $150 million deal with
Yep.
his team?
No, with Fanatics.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
150 million for what period of time?
I do not. I don't know if those numbers are right, but like it's a lot of money for a lot of years.
Dude, I did not realize that he was signing like directly with Tops for a hundred. I mean, regardless of what the time period is, right?
So like
I
he's
didn't
what's
I
known as
didn't
a
know.
tops exclusive person,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. Right, right.
So
He
part
doesn't
of
do any outside
Shohei's
signings.
yeah, so part of Shohei's deal, like Tom Brady is the same way, right? But Tom Brady and Shohei are very interesting people. First of all, neither one of them signs in public, really at all. Like you're never going to be able to get Tom. If you walked up to Tom Brady or Shohei
He'd
Ohtani
say,
on the
"I'm
street,
sorry."
he'd say, "I'm sorry." He'd be like, "I'll take a picture, but I'm not going to sign an autograph." Right. So part of that, and this is somewhat inside knowledge, is for Tom Brady. The reasoning behind that is Tom Brady wants to maintain the value of his autograph.
Right, and I think
Right.
he's well, I don't know if he's explicitly said as much, but I know there's other people who have said as much. We talked about the Randy Johnson thing where he basically, like, doesn't sign certain things because he wants to keep them higher value for other purposes.
Charities and things that was like, yes, that was Randy Johnson's direct
It's a
quote.
little
Is
bit
like
different, but
a
it's the
little bit
same
different.
principle, which is to not dilute the market of how many are out there.
Yeah, but like, remind me to go to back to Mill Creek in Seattle.
Okay,
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 so um, Tom Brady does like one or two signings a year through Fanatics, where you can send. I don't think you can send in items, but it's like a buttload of pre-selected items, like a buttload, and
okay,
you can send them in, and they are of certain. They are a certain price point. That price point doesn't change. You can do a meet and greet with Tom Brady, and like that maintains the value of Tom Brady's autograph, and he can sell it for what he wants. He doesn't want to turn into Ted Williams. Love Ted Williams, but like no offense to I have it's Joe DiMaggio in there, but on the bottom half is Ted Williams. Um, Ted Williams signed 9 million things 9 million times all over the place. So the day he died, his value of autographs is like $500 for an
okay.
autograph baseball, which is like insanely low for one of the greatest baseball players of all time. But it's
Right.
because the market was diluted. Willie Mays, Hank Aaron, same thing, right?
Okay.
Pete Rose, same thing.
Which I mean, power no matter which direction you go, right? But it's kind of awesome that, like, if you wanna touch something that Ted Williams signed, it's not completely inaccessible, right?
Well,
It's
we
kind of
don't. There is not to burst people's bubbles, but there is a lot of controversy because his son signed a lot of items for Ted Williams, and his son perfected his autograph
ooh,
to the point where people can't discern the two of them.
whoa.
True fact.
That's
Um,
crazy. That's
yes.
crazy.
Like Reddit and the giant Ted Williams book that I read. That's a fact. And so like
Well,
I
listen, kids, if
have
you have a successful father, steal his identity, okay?
yeah, steal his
Official
identity.
official advice from this podcast.
From this podcast. Take it. Um, and so not to burst that bubble, but like yes, and the difference in that, and this is just like the economics of baseball and the economics of the world at the time, that they were able to make more money capitalizing on themselves post playing than they ever did playing, right? So there a lot of those players' incomes and net values come from them doing that stuff.
Yep.
And nowadays baseball players don't have to do that, right? Like they get paid a lot of money so that they don't have to benefit off of their image. right?
Yep.
So, um, player like Shohei, right? Exclusive with Fanatics, and in that Fanatics deal, it basically says you can't sign with anybody else, you can't go to other events, you can't do anything else. You're signing with us only. Whatever maintains that value. So then there are other players under Fanatics's umbrella that are lower uh, tier of contract, if you want to put it that way,
Okay.
right? Jackson Churio being one of those examples.
Okay.
So,
Sure.
so like we love Jackson Churio.
We
I
love
tried to
Jackson.
get Jackson Churio's autograph this weekend because, as if you watched any of these shows, you know I have an insane amount of unbelievable Jackson Churio cards that I pulled. Like just
The guy
and
has
yeah,
Jackson
I
Churio luck.
I got Jackson Churio luck. So I think like the only number of Jackson Churio I haven't pulled is a 1-of-1, which is crazy. Um,
Oh, not for
so
long. That'll
not for
happen now
long.
that you
That'll
said it.
change.
Next week, that'll
Yeah,
happen.
next week. So he is a Fanatics athlete. However, he can do signings outside of that. So like I have sent it's like a Fanatics exclusive event that's hosted somewhere else, right?
All right.
And so you can send things in for that, but it's a limited amount of type of items that you can send in, right? You can't send in baseball cards. But you can send in art. You can send in like actual baseballs. You can send in a ball, a bat. You can send in things like that, right?
Sure.
Um, so there are levels to it, right? And then there are players that have exclusives with certain places outside of Fanatics, right? Mike Trout, he has an exclusive with a company that he will only sign with them, right? Mill Creek, great example. Mill Creek exclusive with a lot of Seattle Mariners, right? So
Hey,
like Ichiro's the only place you can get in Ichiro autograph or send in is through Mill Creek up in Seattle.
oh wow.
And
Hey, can I
so like
interrupt you really quick?
yeah.
Ethan Holiday, Bowman, Chrome,
Oh wow.
first baby.
The first Ethan pulled on the pod. I love that.
Nice, nice.
It's a Bowman for Speckle too.
Speckle, speckle.
We love that.
Continue on,
Um
brother.
But so like there are levels to it. Then there are players who just like are independent contractors, right? And they will do events all over the place. David
Sure.
Ortiz. David Ortiz does not have an exclusive. You know, David Ortiz ends up at like TriStar events. He ends up at other things, and you can do a lot of send-ins and stuff
Let
for
me
those flavor.
let me ask you this. So we went to Rocks Fest.
Yep.
Is that are there going to be players who can't attend their version of Rocks Fest because of this agreement?
My guess is yes. So I have found out through talking to a lot of people that every team does it differently, and frankly I don't know how the Dodgers do it, right? But
Okay.
like um I know in Pittsburgh like you buy tickets to certain players.
Yep.
So like you could buy for Paul Skeens. You
Yep.
could buy for Connor Griffin, right? Like you can buy for Henry Davis, right? Like you can buy for certain Griffin Canning, right? Like you could do individual players. I don't know if that changed for Paul Skeens when Paul Skeens um signed with Fanatics. Like Paul Skeens is now an exclusive Fanatics athlete. So I'm I, I'm somewhat hard pressed to believe that. I think that like
Mm.
I mm, no, the more I think about it, maybe not. Like I don't know if Shohei would do that, right? Because I feel like you'd see a lot more of in hand signed things if Shohei's popped up,
If he was
right?
doing it at the team event.
A team event, right?
Okay.
Because like if you paid $1,000 for that and got Choate to sign something, it's instantly worth more than $1,000. Whatever you get
Right,
signed.
right.
Um,
Oh, how about Charles Condon coming to play?
Charlie Condon. So that's kind of how it works, right? It's all there's a lot of different exclusives and deals and people doing things their own way. Um, and it's kind of all up to the player and the player's preference, right? Like I bet you, like that's the levels of contracts with Fanatics, right? So like if you don't think you're going to be getting enough from Fanatics, you can open the door to doing it and other avenues as well. But Fanatics will
Sure,
probably still have to take a cut.
that makes sense. Yeah.
So,
Oh, how about another Rocky first? Matt Klein, dude. Look at this.
dude, you got a Rockies pack. I love
I
that.
got rocked out, dude. I'm all
You got
rocked
you got
up.
a Rockies pack. So yeah, Ordog, that's kind of it. I'm feeling like there was something else that I was gonna say
Well, no, I think at the
that I'm
very least, I
blanking
think that
on.
explains a really good amount of it, right? It's like the agreement happens between the player and the organization and like of MLB and the company, right? So Tops Fanatics, I should say, has a deal with the MLB, and then there's um, parallel deals with the players as well, and then they can make and those things are probably hammered out in the contract negotiations of what they're allowed to do and what they're not, what else they're
Well,
allowed to get
yeah,
involved with and what they're not.
yeah,
So
no, and it is like it is kind of all up. I think a lot of the power is in the player's hands in that, right? Like
sure,
the player can kind of decide, and I think that it allows for great fan interactions, right? Like
sure,
I think that even though it's super expensive, you can go have a meet and greet with Tom Brady, right? Like Drake May, um, Alexander Ovechkin, right? Like, and I think Fanatics has changed the game for better and for worse, right? They get some really cool stuff, but once a player signs with Fanatics, like your ability to do cool things individually goes out the window.
right, makes sense.
And I like the Rockies. They did it today. I didn't go to the game today, but they do like autograph Sundays on the first Sunday game of every month, and players go out and their lines all over the place, and you get to go down and talk to the player for a second and get an autograph from them.
Okay,
And it's great.
sweet.
And the Rockies also do season ticket holder autograph sessions. I think that um, you know, baseball is a little more to me, I think baseball is the most fan connecting sport there is. And there are a lot of things that baseball teams do to get their players interacted with fans. And I think that those kickoff things like Rockies Fest, right? Most teams do something like that.
Right.
Um, is great. There are, as you and I know, right? While there are the autograph sessions that happen, there are games going on. There are Q&As that are going on. There's a bunch of different things that allows players and fans to interact that they never really could find it in any other sport to me.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was definitely a whole bunch of different things going on at Coors Field, and however, I mean, even just the in the middle of the hallway interactions, right? And the handlers saying, "Hey, we got to get from one place to
And
another,"
from
but
one place to another, yeah. I mean, it
they're
was so
saying
funny.
it's for the fans. We gotta do what we can for the people right in front of us right now. So it was
Yeah, no, and it's a super fun thing. Like you also get to go to places in the stadiums that you don't normally go, right? And you don't
right.
normally get access to. Um, I think that that's a really cool thing that fans get to do. And
Oh, we went
not
into the
every
locker room. We stood
yeah,
where Brent Doyle gets ready. We stood where um, the we went down into the groundskeepers
area. Yeah.
headquarters. It was
I
crazy.
mean, we did
It
a
was
lot of it,
crazy.
and it was super cool, right? Like it was super. You got to go into the visiting clubhouse and the visiting locker room and the visiting weight room and stuff. Like bunch of crazy stuff. Oh, you're doing
That's
pretty well.
that's Ellie De La Cruz right there.
But yeah, I mean, I really like it. It's something that has been uh, kind of eye opening to me about the access that you get in baseball and uh, how great certain organizations are at connecting with their fans. Like I know the Fenway Fest, like the Red Sox do it, but I think it's similar. I think it's like you have to buy a ticket to a certain player in order for it to
Okay.
happen.
Okay. Yeah, and that makes sense, right? Like, because at the end of the day, it's about connecting, but it's definitely also a business. So if they can sell that access for more money, depending on who the player is, then it makes sense for them to do that, right?
And I will. This is an unknown thing. Oh, I think I remember what the last thing I was going to say. Some players also do like through the mail. It's called TTM. If
Right.
you see it, where like there are websites that you can get the player's address, you can send them things. Some of them have like donations, and you do like $20, and they'll return your item with a signature. It may take forever, but like it works. The thing.
Sure.
Um,
I
but
remember
some
we sent stuff to Paul Skeens, and I don't think he took like an unreasonable amount of time, but I just didn't know how much time it took. So I was like, "Hey, when are we gonna get
That
those back?"
was that was through something different, but yes, that was
Okay,
through
sorry.
something different. That was not through directly through the mail to players. It was through the mail something else. But yes,
Okay,
and I'm not giving away the secret of who he did that through. Um,
and I completely understand. Wouldn't ask you to.
um, but some teams, I know the Rockies do this. You can send things directly to the Rockies to try to get signed.
Sure.
Like, and most of the time, there's a $25 donation, and it all goes to charity. But there's
Cool.
there's not a lot of guarantee. Like that stuff comes back, but sometimes it takes forever and ever and ever.
Okay,
So
I can
like
see that.
there are different ways of doing it. But like it is,
These are busy
I
guys.
yeah, they're busy guys, right? They travel a lot, and they're at the baseball stadium so early for game times.
Oh yeah.
Um, they're probably there at for a 6:40 game. They're probably there at noon.
And then we act like that's early. It's like, dude, I'm at work at 8 o'clock in the morning.
No,
Give
but to
me
be
give me a
there
break.
that early
No,
before like
I
a
know,
game,
bro.
like
Yeah,
that's the
I
that's the
know.
difference.
I get it, dude. 6:40
But
is
it ends
not.
up but it ends up being similar. Like think about it. If you get there at noon, the game's at 6:40, 3 hours, 9:40, let's just call it 10 o'clock, right?
10-hour day?
Th- then you probably have a couple of other things in your home, and you leave by 11, right?
Yep.
Like you have your massages and your post work down, like cool downs and stuff like
Yep.
that. So like
Cold
it
plunge,
isn't, yeah, cold
stretch
plunges,
sesh,
stretches, go see the physios, if your coach wants to have a recap
debrief.
afterward.
Sure.
Um so like
The
yeah, I mean
dress
it
down,
is
someone screaming
it's
at you. It's
it's
gotta
a
happen.
later start for sure,
Right.
right? But you're
Right.
still there for 10, 11 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good amount of time. No,
And
I'm not. I
it's
mean, dude, I'm not saying they have an easy job. I'm having some fun with it,
no, no,
obviously.
no, no. Oh, dog, come on. Let's be honest here. Maybe not for me, but for you, uh, their job's not that hard. It like
Your job is
it's
to play a game.
your job's to play a game. I think the um pressure on you is vastly different than anything that you and I could ever really understand, right? And that's a big part of it. But like, you're going to work and you're playing a game, and that's what you're doing, right?
Hmm.
And the the aspect of what you're doing is not hard. The pressure on you is what makes it hard.
Way up there, dude. Crazy,
Yeah, way
crazy
up
pressure.
there, right? But like, it's not like I hate when people compare it. They're like, "Oh, it's just like going to play, baseball when I was, 10 years old." I'm like, "It's not. Like you were out there playing a game. It was super fun. It didn't matter if you won or lost. Like it was
Oh,
just a fun thing to do."
there's the GDP of a small nation on the line. It's like it's not insignificant to be, even if it is a game, right? It's not insignificant to be playing it like at that level, you
Yeah,
know?
and I think that like the one thing about sports that's very unique, or it's not unique, but y- you know, even in team sports, like your team can be doing really well and you can be doing very poorly, right? And that provides extra pressure on yourself to perform, right? Because whereas in a company, it's really just it's though people get fired, but they normally get fired for doing shitty at their job. It's not necessarily like, you know, well, the team is failing, so you're gonna get fired, right?
Hmm. Right.
Unless it's your job that the team is failing, right? Um,
Managers,
Managers, right?
coaches.
For coaches, upper management, that kind of lies on them. But like, if your team is doing really poorly, the mic in a company, your microscope is really on you. But in sports, if your team is doing really poorly, but you're doing really shitty, your individual, or you're doing really well, your individual pressure is way down, but the pressure for the team to succeed is really high.
Yes.
And
Yeah, I would
like
agree.
and vice versa, right? So like,
Yep.
if you're doing really shitty and your team's doing really shitty, it's hard. And baseball, while it is a team sport, is also a super individual sport,
Absolutely.
right? It's
Right.
a super individual sport, right?
Yep.
Like, it's not like hockey or basketball. Like, it is
There's no
somewhat like,
assists,
yeah,
Very, very, I
there
mean,
is
there
some
kind of is,
on
but it's
but it's different, right? Like,
different.
it's somewhat like football, right? Individual players. Um, it's not like soccer. Soccer is a team game, right? Like, it's how you fit in that team. And on a stat sheet, you can do nothing, right? Like, you can, on a soccer team, you can have no points or no goals, no assists, none of that, and have an unbelievably good game,
Sure.
right? And
True.
baseball is so, well, what's your average? What's your slugging? How many errors have you committed? And, that puts your pressure for the next year on, if you're going to play or not.
No, that makes total sense. I mean, like in a sport where everybody, like you're saying, soccer is a perfect example where it's like getting. I don't know. There probably are stats around getting the ball upfield, not having turnovers, that kind of thing, right? But then beyond that, like you could be playing an amazing game and not be the one putting it on net, or you didn't have the last two touches, but you had some amazing read of the defense where you burned, a couple important people and left a guy open, and just that
Yeah, I
that guy's
mean,
now the hero.
soccer is a very unique sport in that, like, attackers, you're judged on different things, but like midfield
Sure,
defense, right? Like, your level of success is not in the pivotal moment.
right. It's getting
It's
to the pivotal moment.
it's getting to the pivotal moment,
Sure,
right? It's
sure.
it's providing either the backstop or the being the catalyst of bringing it up,
Right.
right? And you know, even in hockey, right? Like Mitch Marner last night, right, did something that's never happened in,
If we need to jump into this, I mean, holy crap, dude.
holy
Having
crap. But like, I think that before we get into that, because I really want to get into that, because last night's game was crazy. But a hitter, if you get 9 million hits, but you don't hit when people are on base, it doesn't really matter,
Or
right?
if you
Like,
don't get batted in, I think
or
same
if you don't
idea.
get batted in, same
Same
idea,
idea.
right? If
Yeah.
if you don't produce a run, your
Right.
batting is irrelevant, right?
I mean, yes
And
and no, because I think, well, whatever. I agree with you. I think I'm just coming up with a case that it's not, but I don't think I'm trying to be contrarian here. But there is like
no, but
you
there is a
mentioned earlier, a
contrarian
team
aspect of it, right?
there's a team that's like not performing well, and you're the only guy hitting, right? It does matter that you're the only guy hitting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it matters, but like in the overall success of the team, it doesn't,
For sure.
right?
Absolutely agreed.
Right. Whereas, like,
Agreed.
if you're scoring 9 million goals, you're producing
Oh yeah.
success for
Oh
that
yeah.
team, right?
Right.
Like, even if even if the team isn't overall succeeding, you are the reason that they have succeeded that much. But if,
Totally
like,
true.
you could sit there and have a 56 game, you could be Joe DiMaggio and have a 58 game hitting streak, and you not and theoretically it didn't happen, but theoretically you could do that and not have hit someone in and or gotten scored. That is
Right.
conceivably possible.
Sure.
Whereas
Absolutely.
you can't score goals and not contribute to the success of the team.
Mhm.
You can't catch touchdowns, throw touchdowns, score baskets, uh, and not contribute to the success of the team.
Absolutely true. Absolutely true. Agreed.
And I think that that's a very unique. But to get into it,
What did Mitch Marner
two
do last night?
Mitch Marner scored a hat trick in 6 minutes and 21 seconds, 20 seconds.
Bro!
So, for those of you that don't know, Stanley Cup Finals Game 3 last night in Vegas. Um, Two things happened that are Stanley Cup records in the same game,
Yep.
which were Mitch Marner scored 3 goals in 6 minutes and whatever seconds, beating the previous record by 10 seconds, something like that.
Bananas.
And the Carolina
Crazy that that was even a
Hurricanes,
record.
the crazy that was a record. One of his goals was ridiculous, but it was also a natural hat trick. Even though, are you going to call shooting a puck off of another player's stick/skate? I forget which one it was, and having it go in when it was a pass to like the hash marks.
I think you still count it as that person's goal.
It's
I
still a
do.
goal. It's still that person's goal, but like it's not like, you know what I mean.
I do.
But
I do.
yes, still can't take away from it. And the Carolina Hurricanes scored 3 goals in 39 seconds.
Crazy comeback, dude.
Crazy comeback.
I was
I
watching it.
wanted Carolina to win. Like
Oh,
when it went to
especially
the
after
second
that, dude.
overtime, I was like, oh my God. I thought that they'd score one in the first like 5 minutes of the first overtime.
That was honestly that was so crazy. You just like I was watching it out at a bar with some friends, and down 4-0. A lot of Carolina fans where I live, obviously. And that the hopelessness, you could hear it everywhere. And then the first goal gets scored. And then, dude, the next goal gets scored, and it's like, what is happening? And then before you can even question what's happening, they score again. And you're like, oh my gosh, they're gonna do
I
this.
I was at the Rockies game last night, but I was watching it on my phone.
Yeah.
So like I
Yeah.
was watching two things at once, and I don't remember if
Chaos.
they even announced the first goal before the third goal was
Right.
scored.
Right. I don't know either because I couldn't hear any of that, but it would make sense if it wasn't. And then when the fourth goal got scored, I mean, maybe I'm again a victim of watching it at a crowded place with a bunch of people. We can't hear anything, but like I was like, is that a goal? The fourth Carolina goal, the tying Carolina goal. I was like, I think that one's coming back, but
I
it
watched
stood.
it because they had so many replays, and I was really paying attention when that was scored. Was
You're
So
more of a
what's his
hockey
name
guy than
was
I am, honestly. You
what's his
played
name? So there were 2 points of it. What's his name was technically in the crease when he scored the goal.
very much so.
He was in the crease, but in being in the crease, he did not impact the goalie at all. What impacted, and I think it's an advantage to Carolina that I'm blanking on who the other guy was too. They got tossed into the net. That played more of a factor in that goal going in. And if that didn't happen, I think the goal scorer would have been called for goaltender
Interference.
interference because I don't
Yeah,
think the goal could have gone in unless he interfered with the goalie.
sure.
But in the Vegas player blowing up the Carolina player into the net, which was a clear that's not interference, right? Like
Right,
if you go
right.
in of your own accord, interference.
Interference.
But if you get thrown in there by the defender, well, it's double indemnity, right? Like you fucked up and you're about to get the goal. You screw your goalie and you're shit out of luck for that. But
Right.
I if I remember from the replay, when he gets hit, he gets like pushed away. The goalie gets pushed away. Carter Hart gets like pushed back, and then that allows the player to hit it in. But like that couldn't have happened unless he got pushed back.
Yeah. Yeah, same page, same page. And at the end of the day, I was like, I think I'm fine with it. I didn't have time today to I mean, I probably did have time today to rewatch it, but I just didn't sit down and do the whole investigation. But I just initially I was like, I don't know if that makes sense. But I'm fine with it going the way it did. And it goes into double OT.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my gosh. And then the goal that wins it is like a tragedy. I mean,
So
regardless of what side you're on, I think you don't necessarily want to see like whatever. I'm sure Vegas fans were happy that they won the game, but like it's not how you want to win, I don't think.
so I have you ever been to an OT hockey game? Or an OT, any extra inning, any extra
Absolutely, yes.
anything
Yes.
time. Okay.
Yeah.
So one of I have like a long list of favorite sporting events that I've been to. I've been to some pretty cool sporting events, but one of my favorites will always remain. Gosh, this has to be 20 years ago, maybe less, maybe a little less. Um, but double OT, New York Rangers, Buffalo Sabres, second round of the playoffs, and I know I was under 21 because I couldn't drink at the game. And when you have a bunch of rowdy fans that start getting hung over in the middle of the game, it's kind of hilarious.
Ooh.
Um,
Oh, that's crazy.
yeah, it's crazy to think about, but it's like the most tense thing you've ever attended because every moment is either heartbreak or disaster and or a heartbreak or triumph.
Right.
And as you know in hockey, like going to a hockey game as it is the best sporting
So
event to
hype.
attend. It's
Oh, it's
so hype.
amazing.
So Michael Roosevelt, double OT, slap shot from the point, and it's like a weird moment where it was so long ago that it wasn't like automatic. I'm pretty sure it was still a guy had to hit a buzzer, right?
Okay. Yep, yep, yep.
And the puck hits the post. And first of all, he takes a slap shot and Madison Square Garden goes dead silent. And then it hits it hits the either the post or the crossbar, and the whole place goes even more silent. And then the red light goes on, and the whole place
Oh,
just erupts,
yeah,
dude.
yeah,
It
yeah.
was the best atmosphere. Like it is pure euphoria. And I was at the OT game 5 for the Wild this playoffs, and game that was clincher. That was super sick to be to. Like it wasn't quite as good as the Rangers, just because I think Rangers fans are better than Avs fans. Shout out to Rangers fans. Um,
That makes sense, though. I mean, just the history of that team and New York, like, of course.
yeah, I mean, dude, have you seen the price of the
MSG
nosebleed
tickets?
ticket? The nosebleed ticket for the Knicks game tomorrow?
Oh my gosh.
Like, I'm pretty
Uh,
sure one ticket to get in the building is like 4 grand.
I mean, it's New York. I guess there's a lot of people who can afford to go to that, and there's a lot of people who will mortgage whatever they own to go see that, you know?
So I was at the last time the Knicks were in the NBA Finals, 2001.
Wow.
Latrell Sprewell, shout out.
Ooh.
Um,
You remember what that ticket price said? The face price of the
Dude, I
ticket?
was like 9 years old. No chance.
Yeah, but I
All
still
well, my dad. All I know is it didn't cost as much as it would have cost to get in there because like my dad and his friend had season tickets,
there you go. There
and
you go.
and they were the nosebleeds of the nosebleeds.
Yeah.
Like literally, the wall was what was behind you.
Yeah.
So like even they would have been the price of admission,
Dude,
or the
I
like the get in the door price, if you know what I
yeah.
mean.
Yeah, it's so funny. When I was a kid, I heard the term seasons tickets, and I always thought that meant like a box or like 50, football 50-yard, fourth row, first 5 rows, whatever. And then like to find out that you could buy season tickets kind of anywhere you want to, I was like, oh, that makes a lot more sense on a lot of levels. You just you just get season tickets.
I've owned season tickets to a couple teams,
Yep.
and
Rockies most famously.
most famously New York Rangers, season ticket holder to the New York Rangers. Um, and growing up, my dad had season tickets to the Knicks for he how long did he split it with Dr. Clark? Um, they probably stopped pretty close to this NBA Finals.
Okay.
Because like I don't remember going to Knicks games that long.
Yeah.
Like that's an early memory of mine. Um, but then for most of my life, my dad's company had Mets season tickets. And so I'd go to, 9 million Mets games.
Wow.
And, those were, those they weren't what I pick if I never had known what season tickets were because my first entrance in it was like the worst seats in Madison Square Garden. Um, I would have thought the exact same thing as you, right? Like you would have thought that there's like a season ticket holder section,
Yeah. Yeah.
and like that's where they sit
And you can just kinda buy season tickets anywhere that
anywhere you
they'll
want.
let you. It's not like these are the designated season ticket holder seats. It's like you just get them where you want them,
The
and
only
they just
difference is
block them
like
off
there
for
are
you.
tiers. Yeah, the only difference is there are tiers.
Right.
Like I bet you, like if I ever lost some of my season, if I ever lost my season tickets, because I don't like, well, I wouldn't, because like if Phil if the owner of my favorite season tickets ever wanted to get rid of them, I'd literally just take them over.
Yeah.
And I do exactly what he does.
Mhm.
And but if I lost the other season tickets that I have to the Rockies, so I'm part of two season ticket holder groups. Like I'd probably get I'd split it and do like the club level.
Mhm.
That's what I do.
Chevy
And
oh, keep going, sorry.
th- and those would be less expensive than mine, but like the dope food is up in the club level,
Mhm.
dude. Oof,
Mhm.
the
I
food
was
up there.
I was thinking about you saying the thing about the Met seasons tickets, and I really maybe haven't put this all together until right now, but did you become I I'm assuming your dad is a Mets fan, is that right?
So my dad is a
Well, I
my
know he's a Red
dad.
Sox fan. I know that.
So yeah, yes, he is a Mets fan as well. So like my to give you guys my background, this is how it works. Is um my dad Red Sox fan. Growing up, Red Sox fan. Massachusetts Red Sox fan, right?
Massachusetts guy.
Massachusetts guy. Um, Carl Yastrzemski loved fucking Yaz,
And I grew up in
and
a suburb of Massachusetts called Rhode
Massachusetts.
Island.
Um, so grew up a Red Sox fan, grew up a Mavs fan, whole life. Went to college in Massachusetts, then moved to
Wait, are
Manhattan,
you saying he
and
grew up a Mets fan?
no, grew up no Red Sox fan. Grew up a Red Sox fan. Grew
Okay,
up in Massachusetts. Went to
gotcha.
college in Massachusetts. Red Sox fan.
Yep,
So my dad then moves to Manhattan.
yep.
Graduated college, moved to Manhattan in 1980, and my dad is a huge baseball fan, and he worked really late hours. So baseball consistent in the summer every night. So my dad couldn't listen to or like the Yankees. Red Sox fan couldn't do that.
This
So
is what I
only other
just put together this moment, which is basically
so
that, like, you became a Mets fan because your dad couldn't let you be a Yankees fan.
no. I so I he grew up listening. He would listen to the Mets at night, right?
Right.
And so 1986, my dad goes to Game 6 of the World Series with my mom, rooting for the Red Sox, but not really like couldn't lose, right? Couldn't
Well,
lose. And I equate it,
oh boy.
it's very similar to me and the Rockies, but in a different way, right? Once you get to really understand something well, really well, like I know the Rockies organization really well, top to bottom, farm system all the way up. It's hard not to root for them,
Right.
right?
The
It's
stories,
hard
the
not to.
individuals,
The
yeah, of course.
individuals, everything about it, right? You get way more involved in it. And so 86 happens, ball goes between Buckner's legs, game 7, Mets win the World Series, right? So again, always a baseball fan. So his company, when he started his company, and when I was 6, 7 years old, I don't know how long they had season tickets for, but like I'd be going to games when I was 5, 6, 7 years old, right? And they were Mets tickets. But my dad would always, I knew my dad was a Red Sox fan.
Right.
And back in those days, um, the AL and the NL didn't play every year. There was interleague play, which was a designated thing, and you only played like two teams from another league. So the Mets and the Red Sox did not play very often. But I did go to Red Sox Yankees games. And my dad
Mm.
will always tell the story that the first game him and I went to, I was really young. I'm decked head to toe in Red Sox fans, and the Red Sox are getting absolutely blitzed by the Yankees. I'm getting heckled by fans because it's New York. I'm in
And
Red
you're a
Sox stuff,
child, dude.
and I'm a child. And my dad still tells the story. I looked at him and I said, "Dad, we need to leave." And he will tell you, he knew at that moment that I was a real Red Sox fan. That it wasn't just like me being like, oh, I want to root for my dad's team. And when I got a computer when I was a teenager, I'd refresh MLB.com like every 5 minutes for whatever the Red Sox
Any
news
news
was.
we could get,
Yep,
absolutely.
any news. And I went to the 2001 Subway Series or the 2000 Subway Series against the Mets and the Yankees, and there then 2004 happens, 2007 happens, right? 2013 happens, 2018 happens,
We're
right?
talking
Like
about Red Sox winning
we're,
titles, right?
yeah, sorry, we're talking Red Sox winning titles.
Just in case you didn't know.
And we
Travis and I
talked
broke
about
the
this.
curse.
Yeah, we
Just
talked
us.
about this on our 20-year uh video that we did for the Red Sox winning the 2004 World Series.
Wow.
But I was able to stay up on weeknights to watch sports. That was the only reason I was allowed to stay up and watch TV. I couldn't watch TV unless it was sports. And in 2004, I would have been in October 2004, I would have been 13. And I was watching game 4 of the ALCS, and my parents went to bed. Like, my dad went to bed thinking that it was over. And I was sitting on the ottoman in my family room when Dave Roberts stole the base,
Yep.
and I screamed, and
Get back down here.
my dad, who had been in bed for like an hour, like, I can hear the footsteps of my
Yeah.
dad coming
Yeah.
down.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we then watched the end of the game, and my dad told me, he was like, "I was not asleep. Like, I couldn't fall asleep." And came down, and then, a week later, my dad and I are sitting there, back to Folk. Red Sox fans have longed to hear it
Back to folk.
when, you know, Edgar
Oh,
Renteria
it's crazy.
grounds out, and, the Red Sox are the World Series champs for the first time in 86 years. And, I've never looked back.
Yeah.
Like, I'd always, you can't change what happened, right? But if the Mets were to have won the 2000 World Series, would I have been more of a Mets fan? Like, I followed them both. I
Who's
liked
to
them
say?
both. Like, who knows, right? But like,
Who knows?
I I'd rank it Red Sox, Mets, and then, a little bit in the Rockies. Right? Like, if the Mets and the Rockies ever met in the NLCS, I'd want the Mets to win.
Yeah.
Like, I'd secretly sit there. I'd probably, mm, if I went to a game, I'd probably wear both things. I'd probably wear my Tom Seaver jersey and like a Rockies hat. Um, but like, I'd be I'd be happy for the individual players if the Rockies won. Happier than I'd be for the individual players of the Mets,
Right.
because
The players versus the organization.
I've rooted for those players, and I've interacted with those players, but like from an organizational standpoint.
Let's Travis, that's an amazing. I appreciate you going into that because I really was like just kind of putting together how, the history of you having Massachusetts in your blood and growing up in New York. But I also heard you say some things about like the players of Colorado. So is there anything you want to say about Brenton Doyle? Because he is plastered across your screen right now.
He is plastered across a screen. So we will be having some content with Brenton Doyle coming out
What?
shortly.
What?
Might as well break the news here. But we will be having some content with Brenton Doyle coming up. Um, I all I will tell anyone, listening to this, is what you will see in Brenton Doyle's interview and the content that comes up will be exactly who he is.
Nice.
He is a if Brenton Doyle is your hero and you meet him, you will not be disappointed.
Love that.
I'll,
Love that.
I will put it that way. They
Nice.
always say don't meet your heroes. If Brendan Doyle is your hero, I hope that you meet him. I
And if
really
he's
do.
not, make him your hero.
Make him your hero.
Change heroes.
And if you guys tune into the page, we're going to be doing a PAX with pros with Brenton, and I hope we get some good stuff out of it. I hope we get some good stuff. I hope you guys get to see a side of him that you don't really know. And I have we're gonna have a couple more. We have some other content that's coming out with hopefully a couple members of the Rockies. and members of their broadcast team and people that work at the stadium. I've been lining up a few things for the next couple months, so it should bring us to the end of the season.
Mhm.
Um, I tease this and I mentioned it on the last podcast. I'll mention it again here now. I'm going to be working on short little videos that I'm going to come up with uh, every week. I got to pick a day and pick what I got to call it, and so it's taken me a little time. I have the ideas in my head already, um,
We'll
but
get it out there.
we'll get it out there. A tease of it is the first one's going to be about just the experience at Coors Field and how if you are trying to go to all the ballparks, just cross Coors off as soon as you can. It is the best place to go watch a baseball game.
Nice. Nice.
So that's a little tease for what we got coming up. Some of the fun things. We're going for it. I'm gonna come up with a bunch of things. I'm gonna be back east for a month. Um, Hopefully, get some content in Cooperstown, content on the way through. We'll do our opening that we always do in Cooperstown. I may try to see if there's a better place that we could do it. Like I'd love to see if we could
Mm,
do a different time, and I could talk to one of the guys and do it like in a shop. That
that'd be
would be pretty
great.
fun.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Or we could do it like at the batting cage. Um, we'll figure it out. But I'd like to do something different than the hotel room this time.
Heck yeah,
Um,
brother.
but Ordog, as always, fun week, bud. We pulled in Ethan Holiday for the first time, which is big.
There we go.
Uh,
It's a fun one too.
you had some good final thoughts last week for the people. Ordog, what are your final thoughts for the people today?
Well, listen,
Ethan Holiday.
we got some great sports in our very, very close rearview mirror and some good ones up ahead, right? So there's probably an NBA game going on very soon, or
Tomorrow
whatever.
night, 6:30.
And then there's going to be some really good hockey. Um,
Tuesday night, 6 o'clock. That's mountain time. Sorry, people.
that's yeah, no, dude, just say it in Eastern. Come on. But enjoy this week. Really good, really really good sports. What else do I want to say? I had some really good um I'm gonna say like family community type moments over the weekends. Just like
Love that.
come up with some fun things. I think sometimes, and I'm not saying this is what happened, but you can make your own magic, right? And
Yeah.
you might feel like you're in a rut. You might feel like you gotta listen to the radio every night or watch the same TV show every night or whatever. But like Travis just said, find another place to go watch it, or watching a game at a place. I rarely ever watch sports at a crowded bar, truly. And it was super fun to be in the vibe last night. So if
So on
there's
top of that, not to interrupt your final thoughts, but to just piggyback of what he said, if you're not a fan, go find someone that is a fan of one of those teams
yeah,
because
dude, it's infectious.
it's so infectious. It's
Yeah.
so it's so awesome to revel in the highs and lows that someone who really cares about it has, but you have no part to play in it, right? And I am 100% agreeing. I'm going out tomorrow night to watch the Knicks game. Couldn't care about basketball, but I know people that love the Knicks, and so guess what? I'm gonna go do it, and I'm pumped.
Oh, it would be like missing out on a historic like moon mission launch because you're like, "Oh, I don't like science or something." And it's like, "Dude, it's historic. Just go watch it." Like these are two of the craziest finals we've ever seen. They've been close games across all four games that have happened in these
Yeah,
finals have been as close as they could possibly be with overtimes and 1 point differentials and what like it's been crazy.
And
So
I'm not a big basketball fan, as everybody knows, and I'll keep reiterating, but like tomorrow night, Madison Square Garden is
oof,
going to be something that the NBA has probably never seen before.
it'll be
It's going to be a madhouse.
it'll be
It's going to be an
uproarious.
absolute madhouse.
Yeah,
It
it's gonna
would
shake.
be, I like it's like Edmonton being in the finals in hockey, right? Like it is, it's not a, s- a lot of those people, it will no longer be a sporting event. It will be a religious experience.
Exactly,
And
exactly.
I go do it, go out. Like I love that it's New York, right? So like or it's Denver. So who the hell is going to be caring about New York and San Antonio? So like the bars are going to be super packed.
Oh, dude, a
But
ton of
like,
people are gonna care.
oh,
A ton of people are
but
gonna care.
no, Monday night out in Denver for the finals. Like it's not going to be Friday or Saturday night.
Uh,
But
and it's not gonna
I'm
be like
stoked.
in New York, but I mean, that's kind of what we're getting at is like there's an energy and a community around this across the entire US. Probably, I mean, definitely into Europe. Those guys are basketball lovers, also big hockey players over there. So you could just imagine this is gonna be big. This is gonna be really exciting. And it already has been. So and the closer you get to a game four to a 4 something, right? To getting that final victory, it's going to get more and more electric. The stakes are even more. The level of talent is going to be on display. People are going to dig even deeper. The excitement, the energy is all up. So, just be with people that you care about and people who care and enjoy it because whether you win or lose, it's fun.
On. So I will say this. I'm piggybacking off of an interview that I saw last night for a Knicks fan. As I say, I'll keep saying basketball is not my thing, but I want the Knicks to win. So my mayor's Muslim, my bagels are Jewish, my Christian Dior, Knicks in four, baby.
My Christian Dior brother. Oh, it's been great,
Nixon
brother.
for. All right. Hey, we appreciate you guys. Hope you guys have a great week. I think we'll be back next week. We're getting a hot streak going. Go watch some sports. Go out and do a bar, as David said. Go watch it. Go enjoy it. Basketball, football, or basketball, hockey. Go root on your favorite baseball team. And we'll see you guys later. Peace.